everyone, my name is Travell. Welcome back to Water Cooler Hoops. Today I'm going to be standing 10 toes down on a take that I made at the end of the trailer episode. Now, I ran this take past some persons that I work with around the actual water cooler, and everyone thinks that I'm off my rocker for saying the Philadelphia 76ers are going to win the East. At the end of this video, I think I'm going to convince you. But before that, roll the intro. So why am I saying, I'm going to say it again, the Philadelphia 76ers are going to win the East? That's because I took a long look at the Eastern Conference going into this season. Now, I want to say before I break things down, I do not believe that Philadelphia is the best team out East. But I think, based on how the East is shaping up, they're at least top 4, 5. This is in 2010 when to get an 8th seed in the West, you had to be a 50-win team. The East is weak this year. There are a number of moves, the persons who are at the top, the balance of power shifted, and I'm going to tell you all Philly needs to do to win the East this year. Obviously, luck is going to play a factor. Health is a major factor, and this is one of the most unhealthy teams in the league. So saying, as long as everyone is healthy, that's easy to say. But we're going to assume that health is not an issue this year. Let's hop into it. Last season, Joel Embiid being injury prone, as he was, Tyrese Maxey really took a leap. Tyrese Maxey averaged over 27 points a game last season, and he was a good piece when they picked him up. He's gotten better, so we're going to assume that Tyrese Maxey has another year under his belt. He's moving forward. We're going to assume he's going to be just as good or slightly better going into next season. I, like a lot of people, do not think that the Philadelphia 76ers X factor is Joel Embiid. As a matter of fact, in this take, I'm going to assume Joel Embiid is going to miss a substantial amount of time in the NBA season. I think the Philadelphia 76ers X factor is the person that went into the front office and robbed them without a mask, without a gun. Paul George. See, personally, I have some issues with Paul George. People may debate with me. I never ranked him as high as some persons ranked him. I know he had an injury when he was in Indiana. He gave the Miami Heat teams a good run those years, and then he came back and kind of had a resurgence in Oklahoma City, where he was close to winning, in top votes of winning the MVP one season. But I never really bought stock into Paul George. He was always somebody who was better than average to me, but not really elite. But that's just my take. Paul George, we're going to need you to give us more than 16 points a game going into this season. And when I say we, I'm not a Philadelphia 76ers fan, but this is my take. So I'm going to need you to be similar to the Paul George of old and give us at least 20 points a game next season. So we're looking at Tyrese Maxey making a step. Paul George is going to put down the podcast mic. Put it down. Pick up a basketball. Get in the gym and play for your money. And then we have VJ Edgecombe. VJ Edgecombe, if he gives us, in Baylor he gave us 15 to 16 points a game, 43% shooting, 6 rebounds a game. We can live with that. We can live with that. Obviously, they have another rookie who showed out in the summer league, but we can live with that. My take is, if we can give Joel Embiid enough rest to whereas he comes back later on in the season, they have Andre Drummond coming off the bench. He's still a serviceable big, decent enough on the offensive glass. He can give you between 6 to 10 points per game. If he can come in and do his job, Tyrese Maxey makes the step. Paul George gives us what we believe Paul George should be giving us for the money. VJ Edgecombe comes in and gives us between 14 to 16 points a game. I truly believe that the Philadelphia 76ers can finish in the top 4 in the East, and then we can look into the playoffs. Why I want that to happen is because if we look towards the playoffs, if we look towards the teams in the East right now, remember I mentioned the power balance, the power dynamic has shifted. Let's look at Boston. Jason Tatum is injured. Kristaps Porzingis is no longer in Boston. Drew Holiday is no longer in Boston. So that right there, the championship team that they won a couple years ago, is no longer a thing. I personally do not believe that Jaylen Brown, even though he's a Eastern Conference Finals MVP, even though he's a Finals MVP, I do not believe that Jaylen Brown has enough for them to make a deep playoff run. Do I think that he's good enough to get them a 5 or 6 seed in the East and make the playoffs? Absolutely. Because again, I said the East is weak this season, but I don't think he's good enough to make a deep playoff run. If we go to Indiana, who was in the NBA Finals last year, Tyrese Halliburton is injured. Miles Turner is no longer there. Pascal Siakam, I like him as good as the next guy, but he's now is going to have to carry more of a scoring load. So we have the Andrew Nimharts and the Benedict Matherins. They're going to have to step it up, which, they have the game to, but that's not the same team that was last season. The New York Knicks, they added Jordan Clarkson. I don't think they have enough basketballs to play in a game because Jordan Clarkson has never saw a shot that he didn't like. But their team more or less remains the same. But one big factor that's changed, they don't have Tom Thibodeau anymore. It's Mike Brown, who is a pretty good coach, but are they going to be able to repeat that success that they did last season? Now we go to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I am wary of Donovan Mitchell-led teams, honestly. Donovan Mitchell, to me, has always been a lesser version of prime James Harden, who is a regular season player, but there is going to come a time in the postseason when you absolutely need Donovan Mitchell to put on the Superman cape and be Donovan Mitchell. He's good enough to play well in spurts throughout series, a particular series. He's good enough to give you a game here or there. But when it's time for Donovan Mitchell to put the team on his back, i.e. last season against the Indiana Pacers, and I don't want to hear that he was injured. I don't want to hear it. I grew up watching the NBA where Kobe had fractured fingers and he's playing through the season. So I don't want to hear it. When it's time for him to put the team on his back, I've seen him flail out too many times. They added Lonzo Ball, a good addition, a good point guard, but I don't think he gets it done. We go to the Atlanta Hawks. On paper, it's a very good team. With Trae Young, Kristaps Porzingis, you have Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Great team on paper. We still have to see how the fit is going to be. So right there, we have the Philadelphia 76ers in the mix. So my formula is Tyrese Maxey, another year, giving me just as much as he did or better, plus Pandemic P, Podcast P, Yet to See Playoff P, plus VJ Edgecombe, plus Andre Drummond giving me something good enough for Joel Embiid to rest up, who he's released a statement he's not going to rush it, which I agree with it. Don't rush it. Come back later in the season, closer to the playoffs. Give me what you can. I think with that formula, the Philadelphia Sixers can beat anyone in the East. They can beat anyone in the East. Tyrese Maxey, I think he's a nice guy, but he's a killer. I've seen VJ Edgecombe play in Baylor. I've also seen him in the Summer League, and yes, I know that's a small sample size, but listen, he has the it factor. He reminds me of Anthony Edwards in that his mentality is, listen, I'm going at whoever's in front of me. Paul George, this is your year. You had a down year last year. This is your year to show people that you're still at least an all-star in this league, and I believe that he's going to do it. All of these things put together is why I think the Philadelphia 76ers are going to win the East. And we're going to see how this take holds up as the season goes on. We're going to see who is going to be injured. We're going to see what's going to happen. But I think with this formula, we're going to be the Eastern Conference champions. And that's my take. If you think I got something wrong, you can let me know down in the comments. If you want to argue, join the Royal Bahamas Police Force or the Defense Force. If you want to fight, join the Royal Bahamas Police Force and the Defense Force. Otherwise, I'm going to be seeing you in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. This is Water Cooler Hoops. Peace.